Hello, welcome to Keith's Broken Boats once again. Back on the boat. I've got a big rot hole in the side of this panel here. It's a piece of marine ply behind there. This forms like the bottom right hand side of the engine bay, and the piece of marine ply, the damp's got in behind it and it's rotted it out. Drilled a little hole in there to let the water out from that void which is behind it. I'm not sure how the water got in there. I thought it was pretty well sealed, but obviously not. Got my angle grinder and my drill with me, so it's going to start to cut out all of this piece here, cut all that rotten wood out behind that bit of fiberglass and glass in a new bit. So I've cut a piece of marine ply which is the size of that panel. So I've just mixed up some fiberglass resin and I'm going to coat the whole of this piece of ply in fiberglass resin, just to basically to seal it all up so no moisture can get back into it. We've mixed it up and I've got a roller tray, and I thought I'll pour it in the roller tray, and then I thought no, just pour it on, whack it on there. So I start rolling it all out across this piece of wood, and you'll see that this isn't a how-to fiberglassing video. This isn't what you should do. Some of you will have already realised the first mistake I'm making. This is going to be fraught with mistakes because I've never done fiberglassing before. But my first main mistake is the fact that I'm using a foam roller. I'm using a foam roller with fiberglass. Now, I'm going to pay good attention to the edges. I want to get loads of resin soaked into those edges. Now, the reason you shouldn't really use a foam roller with fiberglass resin is the resin melts the roller. So I found this out as I was going along, that the foam on the roller started to swell up and deform and start coming off towards the end. Luckily I haven't got a lot to do. Like I say, I'm just giving a real good coat, especially along the edges. The resin's really soaked into these edges, so just keep going around it and keep pouring it on and pouring it on. I've got these two other little bits which go up in the side of the gunnels which I've got to replace, so I've cut these out of marine ply as well, and I'm just giving them a good coating of resin. Just keep pouring it on. I've sort of got the opinion that more is more with fiberglass resin, that the more I put on the better, I suppose. If I get anything unsightly big lumps of it afterwards, I've got an angle grinder, I can grind them all off, so it's not a problem. So yeah, just keep lathering it on. The more I can get soaked into this timber, the better sealed it'll be to stop any damp getting into it in the future. So like I say, not a fiberglass expert, this is all new to me, so I'm not going to go into the science of how fiberglass works or anything because I don't know. So just keep whacking it on there. I've got a bit of resin left over in the bottom of my cup, and that's gone rock hard. What I've done is I've popped this out, and now I'm going to use it as a coaster to put my cup of tea on. Now all the resin's gone off on that wood and it's really hard, I've sort of clamped it into place in the hole that I cut out, and I'm going to mix up a load of fiberglass resin now and paint it all over that, pour it in there. Oh look, there's the dog, come to see what I'm doing. I think she's hoping for a ride in the boat soon, she'll be lucky. So I've got a nice clean cup, and I'm going to pour some resin in there, add some hardener, and I'm going to paint it all over this, where this bit of wood joins into this, where it's joined into the side of the hull. So it's just a case of bladdering it in there as much as I can. As you can see, as per every fiberglass video I've watched on YouTube before I've done this, it's quite ironic really, isn't it? I'm watching a fiberglass videos on YouTube so that I can make a video of me fiberglassing on YouTube. Bit of going around in circles, isn't it? But I'm going to mix the hardener with it, and then I'm going to wind it up well, and I'm going to brush this all round that panel that I've just put in, getting it in there so as it starts sticking it all in place. Give it a good mix up and away we go. So I've got my paintbrush now, and I'm whacking that all around the seam so as it sort of floods into that seam and fixes that, helps start fixing that into place. So getting the brush, and I'll just whack it as much as I can in there. I'm sort of filling any little crack that will take it, whatever, all around there so that it holds it all in place. Now I've mixed up more resin than I really needed to paint in all these seams and everything, so I'm just covering everything in it. And as for all the fiberglass videos I've watched where they say preparation is key, make sure you've got everything to hand, I've got everything all over the place. Another fatal mistake when you're fiberglassing, you need everything to hand. I've just decided to put a pair of gloves on, which is probably what I should have done right at the very beginning. So I've put my gloves on, and I've got some bits of mat which probably weren't too far away. And because I've got quite a bit of resin, I'm going to start whacking a few bits of the fiberglass mat around that seam to start fixing it all into place. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, well, there's no finesse with this job. I'm just very little preparation. I'm just banging whatever bits of mat I can find close to hand, and I'm just whacking them on there with the resin that I've got left in my cup. I don't like to waste anything, so I'm not going to let the resin go off in the cup. I'm just going to keep finding bits of mat which are close to me. I've got a few bits chopped up lay about inside the boat, and I'm just going to keep whacking them all around that seam where the fiberglass meets that bit of timber. Just keep putting it on. More is more. Got to work in the end, hasn't it? Okay, I've just gone into the back of my boat to find some more strips of mat because I've still got more resin. And I'm just going to keep whacking it on. This is definitely a case of all the gear but no idea. Yeah, I need some more mat. I'm not going to waste any of this resin. And all I'm doing is placing the mat where I want it and getting a brush full of resin and just pushing the mat into place with the brush full of resin, getting plenty of resin through the mat onto where I want it all to be. And this at the moment, it really doesn't look pretty, but I've bought a bit of a tool. And David from Cruising the Cut, if you're watching this, when you fiberglass your transom back in your boat, you really need to get one of these. It is a game changer. I'll show you me using it. Now this is the tool. It's like a little steel roller with ribs on it. And what it's doing, it is pressing the fiberglass mat down right into the resin, and it's getting all the air out from in between the layers of mat that I've put in. And this is making my fiberglass job look really pretty good, actually. I'm really amazed. I'm so glad I got this little ribbed roller. I bought it off eBay. It came in a set of 3. There's like a larger roller, this little one, and then a little narrow wheel that you can use just for pushing all the fiberglass mat into the resin and getting all the air out. And it's really, really good. I highly recommend, if you're doing fiberglassing, this roller is a must-have. So I'm just going all over everything I've done, and then I've got some acetone So I'm going to use to clean this roller afterwards so it doesn't get clogged up with fiberglass resin. I'm just going to get a bit of cloth, wipe all the excess off, then just going to give that a shake around in some acetone. That'll clean anything else off of it, and then I can use that again. Okay, I'm going to leave this now with those clamps on till it all goes off, and then I shall undo the clamps and carry on adding layers of fiberglass until I'm happy with it. Okay, well, that's me having to go at fiberglassing. Thanks a lot for watching. If you got this far, I'll give you a thumbs up. Well done. And it's ongoing. If you like what you saw, we've got lots more to do. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget, subscribe if you want more. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye.